Good evening. I would like to welcome you to the 14th Annual All-City American Indian and Alaska Native Graduation, Realizing the Dreams of Our Ancestors. My name is Katie Ackley. I work at Madison College, and I am also a member of the Planning Committee. Thank you for joining us at our intergenerational ceremony to honor students at all levels of their education. I am thankful to be celebrating with you online. When we first learned that we were unable to have an in-person event, the committee discussed what our next steps might be. Were we going to cancel? Did we want to try and postpone? How and what does a virtual celebration even look like? Additionally, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, the Ho-Chunk Nation, Johnson O'Malley of Dane County, Madison Area Technical College, Madison Metropolitan School District, and the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Lastly, we would like to thank the Madison College Native American Student Association for sponsoring our art contest. Each year, we put a call out to students to create art based on our theme. Congratulations goes to Arvina Martin, a 7th grader from Spring Harbor Middle School, for being the winner of this year's art contest. Once again, thank you to the graduates, family, and friends for being here this evening. Feel free to connect with us via the live chat box. Let us get this ceremony started in a good way as we now hear an honor song from the Madtown Singers. Thank you, Madtown Singers. I'd like to introduce Lucia Nunez, Vice President of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement at Madison College.
Greetings, my name is Lucia Nunez and I'm the Vice President for Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement at Madison College. Last year we hosted this event at our Truex campus with a ceremony and a dinner. This year we celebrate virtually, but nonetheless we celebrate and honor your accomplishments. Even from a distance, we are thrilled and beaming with collective pride. I can't express enough the importance of an education. I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times from teachers, from family, and friends. But now more than ever, we need you to learn math. We need you to write inspirational poetry. We need you to design protective gear and come up with a new vaccine. We need you to serve those in need. You are our hope and inspiration for our future. Again, congratulations to you all and to your family on your accomplishments. Thank you.
We will now hear from Aaron Birdbear, Tribal Relations Director at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Hello, my name is Aaron Birdbear. I am the inaugural Tribal Relations Director for the University of Wisconsin-Madison. This position helps the University of Wisconsin-Madison communicate and coordinate with the 12 American Indian nations of Wisconsin. In many ways, this position is realizing the dreams of our ancestors. I'm Mandan Hidatsa Ndene. Like your ancestors, my ancestors wanted us to become educated, and we can see that through over 130 treaties had provisions for education. And so through education, we can realize the dreams our ancestors had for us. Teejop, or Four Lakes, is such a special place where humans have thrived and had such a good quality of life for at least 12,000 years. It's with that we recognize that we're on the ancestral land of the Ho-Chunk Nation, the people of the Sacred Voice, who has such tremendous love and respect for all living beings here in Teejop. And so it's with incredible special place for us to develop ourselves. We're able to study things like American Indian studies in such a way that realizes the dreams of our ancestors, that their traditional knowledge is now valued by the greater U.S. society, and it allows us to sustain our ways of being and understand this world through the eyes of our ancestors. So please keep investing in yourselves the way you have been. It makes us so proud. Through education, we're able to join wonderful groups like Wangshik, the American Indian Student Group of Madison, who hosts the annual powwow and all these wonderful events that celebrate the ways of being and traditional knowledge that our ancestors have carried forward for us to learn from and celebrate today. And through education, we then get to be incredibly creative, modern, contemporary Native American peoples as we think of the 1491s and the ways they're helping us think about who we are as Indigenous peoples today. And people like little baby Yoda, who's celebrating the indigeneity and the power and magic of our worldviews. It's such a special time in the 21st century as Indigenous peoples. At the same time, education allows us to preserve and protect the lifeways that our ancestors worked so hard for us to continue to enjoy today. And so it is our kind of thanks to our ancestors for their commitment to understanding the legal structures of the United States and preserving tribal sovereignty and our tribal nations for us to continue to learn and celebrate as Indigenous peoples. And as we understand the world around us in new and different ways, it allows us to form ideas about what type of leaders we want to become. Our voice counts today, and the ways that our ancestors have created space for us, for our voices to contribute to the dialogues that shape all the policies around us. I celebrate you and your families as we've come together in a time when our voice counts more than ever before. And so I congratulate you, graduates, and all your supporters, your family members, your loved ones who've invested so much time and energy in you as a person and part of our community. Congratulations to all of you graduates. And I look forward to seeing how you grow and become leaders in this coming century. So thank you so much.
Our keynote speaker this evening is Brian McGinnis, an associate professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Bonjour, Anin. My name is Brian McGinnis, and I am a faculty member in the School of Human Ecology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I've been invited to share a few words here today about, of course, this wonderful event, which is graduation, but also to talk about the theme of this celebration, which is realizing the dreams of our ancestors as American Indian, as Indigenous peoples today. So that's what I'm going to do, is take a few minutes here to, I guess, frame what is meant by these ideas of dreams. What are dreams? How do we understand them? What do those mean? Also, who our ancestors were, are, and then what it means to live, to realize, to help ensure that the dreams that our ancestors had for us are things that are able to move into the future, which is kind of what graduation is really all about, is actualizing all of that hard work, all of that energy, all of that frustration, all of that hope, all of that vision, and putting it into something that you can take forward into the future with you. Now, in this case, we're thinking about this in terms of what it means to be an Indigenous person, an American Indian person today, who is inspired by those dreams of our ancestors and who is empowered by the dreams, the work, the action of those who came before us. So that's, I think, something which I would like to principally talk about, but wanted to introduce myself also as being an Ojibwe Bode Wadmi person from the Wasauksing First Nation. Now that is a Canadian Indigenous community, but I have worked also in the United States since 2001, I believe. So it's been a little bit of time, and I've enjoyed, actually, to be honest with you, being on any side of the border where our peoples are. And that's one of the beautiful things about our nations, is that that border that gets drawn between Canada and the United States, that's never been our border. That's someone else's border. And our nations, our cultures, our practices flow freely and should be able to flow freely from one side to the next. But of course, that's the ongoing struggle of what it means to be an Indigenous person today, to defend those kinds of pre-existing rights and rights that we have, but that now become our responsibility to maintain and preserve for the future. So in that good way, I do come from the Wasauksing community, and my language, I would say, Wasauksing Donjiba, Wasauksing Wenjibayan. And my Ojibwe name, my Bode Wadmi name, or my Anishinaabe name is Wabishkemakwa, and that means like a white colored bear. And my community, Wasauksing, is located in Lake Huron. So I always like to think about those things when I'm introducing myself, my name, where I come from, who I am, Ojibwe Bode Wadmi Anishinaabe Endau, that I am Ojibwe Bode Wadmi. And today, to be able to talk to you a little bit about what it is that it means to, I guess, move forward at this very exciting time is an honor to myself. So, apjego neminwendam, ejegaganoe na nungum gishagak, ejegishi tayan gekinoa magozian, minoa jana nakitawendaman, gejichigean hodenakean igan. So what I was just expressing there was, it's just an honor, and I'm thankful to be able to talk to you a little bit about what it means to finish this part of your education as you now think to what it means to go forward and continue to learn or do whatever it is that you know are inspired, are encouraged to do. So a lot of good, beautiful future time ahead of you, and I guess that's what I really wanted to highlight. And of course, this whole idea of talking about high school graduation, that's been a long time for me. When I finished high school, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, but I did make a really good decision, and of course everybody's decision is different, but I had decided to go to college, and I think it was a little bit based on a conversation I'd had with the high school guidance counselor who was talking. Of course, we all had to have these conversations about what we would like to do with our future. And at the time I was working at a hardware store and actually really enjoyed that work. I worked quite a bit as a high school student. I think I would work generally 20, 25 hours a week. So weekends, after schools, it was an awful lot of time. And I enjoyed that work, as I said, and it was something, I wasn't sure what I'd be doing if I would stay there, but it was interesting during this meeting with this guidance counselor. So one of the things we were asked was, well, what would you like to do after you graduate? And I said, well, so maybe I'd like to go to college. And it was very interesting, the response that I got, because I was asked if I was still working at the hardware store, and I said yes. And the guidance counselor kind of made the statement, well, maybe that would be a good future for you, staying at the hardware store. You like what you do, you're good at what you do, and that just might be the kind of thing that you should continue to do. And it made me think, well, why would this idea of my going to college be such, I guess, a discouraged idea? It certainly didn't get any support. And so you kind of read between the lines and realize, I think this person is saying I shouldn't go to college. So I mentioned it again. I said, well, I think actually I don't want to work at the hardware store, and I think I would like to go to college and explore my options. And it was interesting. It was just met with this very dull kind of silence. And I wasn't a great student at that time. I wasn't a bad student. I was a B student. And I don't know if I really thought a lot about what it meant to work hard in school. So that's that, and that was fine. But in that moment, I guess, when suddenly my future felt questioned, my ability to do something felt questioned, it made me very defensive and made me very, maybe not even defensive, it just made me very passionate about maybe there's something that I need to do that's being obscured from me, and I need to change that, or at least I need to have ownership of that decision. And so I talked a little further, and I sort of maybe made the suggestion that, yeah, that is something I think I really want to do and I'm going to do. And so, of course, I mentioned there was this silence that happened, and I sort of listened to that silence and waited for what was going to emerge from it. And eventually, I think I got this answer that, well, for American Indian peoples, not a lot of success in college is realized, and, working is really important for American Indian peoples, and you might want to consider a career in art because American and Indian peoples are all really good artists, and you're good working with your hands, so hardware store is a great fit. And I guess two things with that. One, I cannot draw. I have no creative ability. If that is the stereotype, then I have smashed the stereotype, because I can maybe draw a face with a smile and a couple eye holes, and that's about the extent of what I can do with my artistic talents. And to that end, even working with my hands, building things, I don't think I'm actually very good at it, and I never really was. So it was kind of feeling like this is going to be a really terrible future if I am dependent upon working with my hands or my artistic skills to make my future, because I have very little talent. Many people do have lots of good talent, but I just don't. So I left that meeting feeling a little incensed, a little angry, a little unhappy, I think because of the judgments made about who I was as a person based on who I was as an Indigenous person. Not really bothered me, but I think it was also just the fact it was such an imposed limitation. So I realized that's something I have to change, and I changed that. And the next year, I graduated top student in my class. And then when I graduated high school, I actually graduated as my high school, essentially the valedictorian, one with the highest academic standing. And it was, I think, based a little bit on what was said to me that day, that you can't do this. Wasn't even necessarily about trying to be the best, beating everybody else. Although the non-native kids that I went to school with, it wasn't trying anything about trying to be better than anyone else because of who they were. I was just trying to see how good I could be, what was the best I could do as an individual person. And that was what motivated me. Also, I had also had a really wonderful opportunity to go back to the area where I had first grown up, because I went to high school quite a ways away, like many of you do, have to graduate in cities or places that maybe are not where your family is originally from, but for many years of your life become your home. I did return to my home community, and I met with a traditional elder, and because I was curious about the future and I wanted to get his perspective on it. And a few things I learned that I think relate very much to this topic today. Some things that he shared with me and some encouragements that he gave me that I think gave me the louder yes to don't be just angry about what someone has said to you, but remember who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. So in that way, that's how I want to frame a few things about what I'd like to share. So what does it mean to dream and to realize your dreams? And one of the things that this elder had encouraged me to do was he said, well, he asked if you ever gone on a vision quest, fasted, so to speak. And he didn't use the word vision quest. And I said, no, I've never done that actually. It probably is something important to do. And he said, it's very important to do. And he said, I would like you, if you would like to do it, to complete a fast this next spring. So I said I would like to do that. And of course, he gave me some wonderful guidance of what that meant and how to get ready for that time when you go without food and water and you basically deprive your body of some physical strength, imparting elements to let the spiritual part of your nature come forward, to be able to listen to those messages that indeed our ancestors do send forward towards us, towards all of those messages that I think powerfully as Indigenous peoples of this part of the world that we are naturally open to, but sometimes in the distractions of the present we fail to notice, to pay attention to. And so fasting is important because it makes you pause, it makes you listen, it makes you dream, and it makes you pay attention to your dreams in ways that, again, the busyness of everyday life, you just might forget to pay attention to or to remember. So one of the things that I was just encouraged at that point in my life was to think about my life, to pause, to dream, to remember those dreams, and try to do something with those dreams that I had, that I was being shown. So that was a very powerful kind of lesson and experience. The other thing I was encouraged to do was very much what we are encouraged to do when we just think about that term ancestor and remember who those ones are, is that they are very special and they are very important. And we are here because of their efforts and their sacrifices, and in many ways their sufferings. American Indian peoples, Indigenous peoples in this part of the world have not had an easy history, and that is the biggest understatement of the day, that we have been victims of slavery, we have been victims of land disempowerment, land theft. We have had our languages and our cultures by and large ripped away and stolen from us. We have been relegated to the poorest parts of society, denied opportunities, or at least those have not been made explicit to us, and we have been left in continuing circumstances socially that are completely unacceptable. But what we do have is a lot of inherent strength, a lot of inherent resilience, and a lot of good spirit connection that can be a very good source of strength. And we have each other, and that is the maybe best source of strength. So in that way, when we think about our ancestors, that the dreams that they had for the future, those dreams must have been you. You doing exactly what you are doing right now. Being able to go to a school and hopefully feeling that going to school is okay, because it wasn't the kind of residential school that many of our grandparents, parents, or great-grandparents attended, whereby your whole sense of self was completely negated to the point you forgot who you were, how to speak your language, how to be proud of your cultural ways. Although, education that doesn't acknowledge those things can in some way do it. But at the same time, there is a difference, and what you are doing in graduating and moving on to a part and a phase of your life that so many of our ancestors never had the opportunity to do, that would have been one of their dreams. So that ability to go forth and learn freely. So it's a pretty amazing and extraordinary thing. It feels weird to say it's a privilege, but in some ways, I guess, from the vantage point of their dreams and perspectives, it very much would be that. So that notion, that opportunity you have at the present to keep doing things, to keep learning things, it's something that we want to take action on. And what's really exciting about the present time is there's lots of opportunities to keep learning, whether you do it as a part of your job or whether you continue to go to college. And I do hope you consider that and do that. But today you can study so many things that you could never study, and certainly your ancestors could not study. Of course, if they naturally knew their language and culture, that's always the best way to do it. But if you don't, and if it's something that you don't feel you know enough about, this is the opportunity to go forth and take up that opportunity to study your language, study parts of your history, parts of your culture that maybe was something that you feel you don't know well enough but would like to know more of. Maybe there's things that you'd like to learn about in terms of ceremonies or ways that as Indigenous peoples we naturally come to knowledge. This is the opportunity and the time to start to make those plans, start to meet those people, and start to pursue that active learning journey. Basically, what the dreams of your ancestors would be that you would be able to be yourself fully and to be able to learn the things that you need to learn to be able to fulfill that kind of life path that was in our own cultures talked about by the old people always as before we were even born to the world. Each of us had, of course, a name, and hopefully that spirit name is something you have that opportunity to hear, to know. And if you don't know it, find someone who can help you learn your Indian name, your Indigenous name, your spirit name. But also, in our oldest teachings, it was said that before we were even born to this world, we were already told that we had a purpose to fulfill in this world, that there was specific work that each of us would be asked to do for the greater good, to help the people, to help the community. And the hard part about being born to this world is our spirit, of course, has come forward, but it's a lot of remembering we suddenly have to do. And there's lots of things that blur what that message was. So it's kind of our task to learn what that is. Now, as I mentioned earlier, fasting's one of those ways that you can do it. But I think paying attention to your dreams, reflecting upon the lessons that we get every day, and taking those moments to listen to ourselves, listen to our hearts, listen to our spirits, I think those are ways that we can connect with that and find what that vision is and fulfill that. And I think in so many ways, that would be an absolute dream of your ancestors, that you would be able to hear what that life path journey for yourself is supposed to be. But also in that is to recognize that you are also part of a greater story. And of course, for all of our peoples coming from this part of the world, we acknowledge that each of our nations has their own creation story, and that each of those creation stories are true. And in that regard, we wonder, You might wonder, have I heard my own people's creation story? And if you haven't, that's okay. But it's a good time now to go learn what that is, find out what that is, and find out what that means. Because in so many of our creation stories, and they're all beautiful stories, and it's best if you can hear it in, your own language first. But hearing it in English will still tell you a lot of basic ideas. But the thing to note about that is the stories of our creation, they talk about how the people were formed and given physical form, given physical shape. And in so many ways, when you hear them, it's like those teachings are talking directly to you. That when you hear about, the first person of your nation being given form, it's like you hear yourself being given form. When you hear in that teaching that this being that was formed and shaped was the most beautiful being that creation could imagine, you can see yourself as that one. So they're empowering stories, and they make you feel good about yourself because they should, and because you should. So our stories are powerful, and we know that it would be a dream of our ancestors for you to be able to hear those kinds of stories, even if they couldn't be the ones to tell you those stories. So that would be something very good to continue to pursue. To live your life as who you are meant to be, not who people tell you you're supposed to be, not to be limited by what other people feel your limitations are, but to live your life by the strengths that you know you have and the person that you are supposed to be. We know also that it would be a dream of our ancestors for our people to live in a good cooperative way, in a way where we help each other, where we're kind to each other, where we help each other all move forward, as opposed to one person just doing that at the expense of others. That's not who we are. So to live to be ourselves, that would, I am certain, be one of those dreams. And then lastly, I guess one of the things I just wanted to share as an encouragement, but also just maybe as some kind of reminder here, that in so many of our nations, there are these incredible prophecy stories, these stories that are meant to give us a vision of the future, but to also know that there's, again, a greater purpose to what it is that we need to accomplish in the present. And one of those stories for the many of the Anishinaabe peoples of this part of the world, and that could be the Potawatomi, the Menominee, the Ojibwe, Odawa. Many other tribes are still under that same umbrella, and I think share this kind of story, but the Eighth Fire's prophecy. And it's a pretty fantastic story that takes us all the way back to, the Eastern Shore 1,000 years ago, when this prophecy first came. And think about that, 1,000 years ago. It was a much different kind of continent here. But it was also, in its own way, a great time of planning for the future that would come, and somehow the people knew this, because this prophecy, it talked about all of the hardships, or many of the hardships, that as a people we would face. The near destruction of our lifeways, of the theft of our land, the loss of our family structures, the introduction of things into our societies that were not originally ours. But it also is fundamentally a story about hope, in that they say in the time of the seventh fire, which roughly emerged sometime maybe mid-70s. It's been lit a little while now, but these fires also burned for a long time. But that the children of that particular time, of this particular time, would be the children of the seventh fire. And they would be born in a special time when it was said the people would stand up, when the people would remember who they are, when the people would reclaim all those things that had been left along the trail in earlier epochs and earlier fires, left along the trail, discarded or ripped away and left hidden, but that this generation would find all of those things, renew all of those things, own all of those things, and move those into the future. So that's an important part of this, that we reclaim who we are as Indigenous peoples. And your opportunity at graduation is now entirely in front of you to do that. So it's in itself a good point of purpose and a good life mission right there. But also part of that prophecy says that these new people, these, I think the word was Oshke Bimadazig, which is literally means sort of the new lifed ones, the new people, that the new people, Oshke Bimadaziyang, that there would be this sharing of our ways also, and synthesis of our ways with those of others. So it says everything to us that we don't live just in the past, but we live dynamically in the present into the future. We're informed by the things that we know as Indigenous peoples, the instincts that we have, the messages that we're given. That's a big part of it. But that we are also part of making that very dynamic new future that is the time of the eighth fire. And when that is lit, it's kind of said there'll be these two possibilities, I guess, like any good prophecy story. The one path is a gentle path where the earth is not scorched, where people have walked softly on the ground and they've walked together. And that's not just indigenous peoples, that's all peoples, moved forward together in a good way. The other path is one that is one of destruction, of exploitation, of despair and loss, and greed. And it was said that this generation, children of the seventh fire, would decide which of those two paths we would go. One that would move to a future that's sustainable and respectful, the other destructive, and destructive in a real way, meaning kind of destruction of the earth. And we've seen the potential for both. So for yourself right now, it's an exciting time to be here because you get to be a part of the generation or the ensuing generations who will help make that future what it is. So it's exciting and it's good and it's hopeful. And that's how we want to think about it. But that it's made with hard work, it's made with love, and it's made with respect and concern and kindness for each other. So those are just, I think, if I had to summate what would be a way that we would realize and honor the dreams of our ancestors, it would be that we will take action upon those old stories, those old prophecies, upon all of the things that they held or that they didn't, if they didn't have, that they wanted you to have. So in that good way, just wanted to encourage people to go forward with strength and with determination and to take advantage of all the life that there is and all of the time that there is to achieve something that will make you proud, will make your families proud, and make your ancestors proud, because we know they are watching us, supporting us, encouraging us. So in that good way, I would just extend this gentle message of Mushkoenda Mug, be determined in your thoughts, Ayong Guamazig, be careful in your actions, and just remember how beautiful life is. So work for that life, Anukida, and always remember to honor yourselves as you do that. So in a good way, I wanted to extend those words and thank you for letting me share this message. Miigwech, miseo.
Thank you, Professor McInnes. We will now move forward with honoring our graduates in our virtual processional. Honoring our 5th grade graduates. Matthew Apigo Davidson, 3 affiliated tribes, Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara, Navajo. Nadia M. Sid, Ho-Chunk Nation. Nicoletta Fullwilder, Salt River Pima, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Oneida, Stockbridge, Muncie. Malachi Martell, Chippewa. Alondra Reyes Seabury, Fond du Lac Tribe. Honoring our 12th grade graduates. Lewis Allen, Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Ojibwe Memorial High School. Elias Fox Baker, Colville Confederated Tribes, East High School. Gloria Cornelius, Oneida Nation, Capital High School. Sadie Renee Decora, Ho-Chunk Nation, East High School. Mayingan Wolf Garvin, Ho-Chunk Nation, East High School. Caden Kirkpatrick, Choctaw, West High School. Corbin Left Hand, Crow Tribe, West High School. Benjamin Schneider, Cherokee, Oklahoma, East High School. Jennifer Tyndall, Ho-Chunk and Athabascan, Verona Area High School. Honoring our post-secondary graduates. Honoring our post-secondary graduates. Lillian N. White Eagle, Ho-Chunk, Red Lake, and Leech Lake, Bachelor of Science, Psychology, and Sociology, Upper Iowa University. Jacob Bender, Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Ojibwe, School of Nursing, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Haley Machette, Navajo, Picaris, Bachelor of Science, Retailing and Consumer Behavior, Certificate, Business, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Rebecca Schieber, Ojibwe, Bachelor of Science, Economics, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Lorenda Jean Malson, Lac du Flambeau, Ojibwe, Juris Doctor of Law, University of Wisconsin Law School. Dr. Rachel Byington, Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, Doctorate in Human Ecology, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Let's hear some words from a couple of our graduates.
Hi, I'm Elias Fox Baker, and I'm a graduating senior at Madison East High School. I'm also a member of the Caldwell Confederated Tribes. First thing I want to do is shout out some of my family, important people on my journey throughout my high school career. The first people that I want to shout out are my two moms, Cheryl Baker, or Indian Goyle, and Lana Fox. Those are my two moms, and they've supported me and just been there and helped me shape who I am today. Another group of people that I want to shout out is my grandmothers, Stella Baker and Peggy Fox Bowman, and they've been the elders in my life and have taught me many things, just to improve myself, to be a better man. And another person that I want to shout out is my little sister Marina. Although she could be annoying, we've had plenty of fun adventures that I cherish to this day. And then another group of people, last group of people, are my friends and other people that I haven't been able to list. They're basically my community, and they've helped me grow into the person I am today. My kind of last advice for maybe the younger students is to kind of get outside your comfort zone. You lose a lot of opportunities if you're really comfortable, and I've learned that kind of, throughout my years. And just, work hard, but don't be afraid to fail a little bit. Don't be afraid to have a little self-care, because at the end of the day, you're you, and you just want to be 100%, and don't worry about school as much, but work hard. And so my last thing I want to say is kind of my hopes and dreams. I'm going to be I'm going to be attending UW-Madison in the fall, hopefully pursuing a computer science degree. So, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do after college, but I know that I will just want to maybe improve my native communities. So, thank you.
Hey guys, Ben here. I like to give a shout out to my family members, my mom, my dad, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, for doing everything they can to take care of me and raise me, and be there for me when I need it the most. I also like to give a shout out to my friends as well too, for helping me throughout schooling and being there for me as well too. I appreciate everything that they do to help me be successful in school and throughout so far in life. Hopefully I'm ready for the next chapter, and be more successful in college and be a good role model.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending the virtual All-City graduation. My name is Devita Walker. I am a member of the Bad River Band of Chippewa of Lake Superior, Wisconsin. I am a first-generational college student, and I'm finally graduating from Madison College from the Human Service Associate Degree Program, Addiction Studies Certification. Being a person in long-term recovery and a non-traditional college student, this is such a big honor for me that this day has arrived. I would like to thank Marty, Katie, Nicole, all the members of the Native American Student Association, my instructors, and my loving family for supporting me and standing by my side. I couldn't have done any of this without you guys. So I just want to say thank you and congratulations to all the graduates. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Bye.
Good evening. I would like to welcome you to the 14th Annual All-City American Indian and Alaska Native graduation, realizing the dreams of our ancestors. My name is Katie Ackley. I work at Madison College, and I am also a member of the Planning Committee. Thank you for joining us at our intergenerational ceremony to honor students at all levels of their education. I am thankful to be celebrating with you online. When we first learned that we were unable to have an in-person event, the committee discussed what our next steps might be. Were we going to cancel? Did we want to try and postpone? How and what does a virtual celebration even look like? Additionally, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, the Ho-Chunk Nation, Johnson O'Malley of Dane County, Madison Area Technical College, Madison Metropolitan School District, and the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Lastly, we would like to thank the Madison College Native American Student Association for sponsoring our art contest. Each year, we put a call out to students to create art based on our theme. Congratulations goes to Arvina Martin, a 7th grader from Spring Harbor Middle School, for being the winner of this year's art contest. Once again, thank you to the graduates, family, and friends for being here this evening. Feel free to connect with us via the live chat box. Let us get this ceremony started in a good way as we now hear an honor song from the Madtown Singers. Thank you, Madtown Singers. I'd like to introduce Lucia Nunez, Vice President of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement at Madison College.
Greetings. My name is Lucia Nunez, and I'm the Vice President for Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement at Madison College. Last year, we hosted this event at our Truex campus with a ceremony and a dinner. This year we celebrate virtually, but nonetheless we celebrate and honor your accomplishments. Even from a distance, we are thrilled and beaming with collective pride. I can't express enough the importance of an education. I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times from teachers, from family, and friends. But now more than ever, we need you to learn math. We need you to write inspirational poetry. We need you to design protective gear and come up with a new vaccine. We need you to serve those in need. You are our hope and inspiration for our future. Again, congratulations to you all and to your family on your accomplishments. Thank you.
We will now hear from Aaron Birdbear, Tribal Relations Director at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Hello, my name is Aaron Birdbear. I am the inaugural Tribal Relations Director for the University of Wisconsin-Madison. This position helps the University of Wisconsin-Madison communicate and coordinate with the 12 American Indian nations of Wisconsin. In many ways, this position is realizing the dreams of our ancestors. I'm Mandan Hidatsa Ndene. Like your ancestors, my ancestors wanted us to become educated, and we can see that through over 130 treaties had provisions for education. And so through education, we can realize the dreams our ancestors had for us. Daejeop, or Four Lakes, is such a special place where humans have thrived and had such a good quality of life for at least 12,000 years. It's with that we recognize that we're on the ancestral land of the Ho-Chunk Nation, the people of the sacred voice, who has such tremendous love and respect for all living beings here in Daejeop. And so it's with incredible special place for us to develop ourselves. We're able to study things like American Indian studies in such a way that realizes the dreams of our ancestors, that their traditional knowledge is now valued by the greater U.S. society, and it allows us to sustain our ways of being and understand this world through the eyes of our ancestors. So please keep investing in yourselves the way you have been. It makes us so proud. Through education, we're able to join wonderful groups like Wangshik, the American Indian Student Group of Madison, who hosts the annual powwow and all these wonderful events that celebrate the ways of being and traditional knowledge that our ancestors have carried forward for us to learn from and celebrate today. And through education, we then get to be incredibly creative, modern, contemporary Native American peoples as we think of the 1491s and the ways they're helping us think about who we are as Indigenous peoples today. And people like little baby Yoda, who's celebrating the indigeneity and the power and magic of our worldviews. It's such a special time in the 21st century as Indigenous peoples. At the same time, education allows us to preserve and protect the lifeways that our ancestors worked so hard for us to continue to enjoy today. And so it is our kind of thanks to our ancestors for their commitment to understanding the legal structures of the United States and preserving tribal sovereignty and our tribal nations for us to continue to learn and celebrate as Indigenous peoples. And as we understand the world around us in new and different ways, it allows us to form ideas about what type of leaders we want to become. Our voice counts today, and the ways that our ancestors have created space for us for our voices to contribute to the dialogues that shape all the policies around us. I celebrate you and your families as we've come together in a time when our voice counts more than ever before. And so I congratulate you, graduates, and all your supporters, your family members, your loved ones who've invested so much time and energy in you as a person and part of our community. Congratulations to all of you graduates, and I look forward to seeing how you grow and become leaders in this coming century. So thank you so much.
Our keynote speaker this evening is Brian McGinnis, an associate professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Bonjour, Anin. My name is Brian McGinnis, and I am a faculty member in the School of Human Ecology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I've been invited to share a few words here today about, of course, this wonderful event, which is graduation, but also to talk about the theme of this celebration, which is realizing the dreams of our ancestors as American Indian, as Indigenous peoples today. So that's what I'm going to do, is take a few minutes here to, I guess, frame what is meant by these ideas of dreams. What are dreams? How do we understand them? What do those mean? Also, who our ancestors were, are, and then what it means to live, to realize, to help ensure that the dreams that our ancestors had for us are things that are able to move into the future, which is kind of what graduation is really all about, is actualizing all of that hard work, all of that energy, all of that frustration, all of that hope, all of that vision, and putting it into something that you can take forward into the future with you. Now, in this case, we're thinking about this in terms of what it means to be an Indigenous person, an American Indian person today, who is inspired by those dreams of our ancestors and who is empowered by the dreams, the work, the action of those who came before us. So that's, I think, something which I would like to principally talk about, but wanted to introduce myself also as being an Ojibwe Bode Wadmi person from the Wasauksing First Nation. Now that is a Canadian Indigenous community, but I have worked also in the United States since 2001, I believe. So it's been a little bit of time, and I've enjoyed, actually, to be honest with you, being on any side of the border where our peoples are. And that's one of the beautiful things about our nations, is that that border that gets drawn between Canada and the United States, that's never been our border. That's someone else's border. And our nations, our cultures, our practices flow freely and should be able to flow freely from one side to the next. But of course, that's the ongoing struggle of what it means to be an Indigenous person today, to defend those kinds of pre-existing rights and rights that we have, but that now become our responsibility to maintain and preserve for the future. So in that good way, I do come from the Wasauksing community, and my language, I would say, Wasauksing Donjiba, Wasauksing Winjibayan. And my Ojibwe name, my Bode Wadmi name, or my Anishinaabe name is Wabishkemakwa, and that means like a white colored bear. And my community, Wasauksing, is located in Lake Huron. So I always like to think about those things when I'm introducing myself, my name, where I come from, who I am, Ojibwe Bode Wadmi Anishinaabe Endau, that I am Ojibwe Bode Wadmi. And today, to be able to talk to you a little bit about what it is that it means to, I guess, move forward at this very exciting time is an honor to myself. So, apachego naminwendam, ejegaganoe na nungum gishagak, ejegishi tayan gekinoa magozian, minoa janana getawendaman, gejichigean hodenakean igan. So what I was just expressing there was, it's just an honor, and I'm thankful to be able to talk to you a little bit about what it means to finish this part of your education, as you now think to what it means to go forward and continue to learn or do whatever it is that you know are inspired, are encouraged to do. So the lot of good, beautiful future time ahead of you, and I guess that's what I really wanted to highlight. And of course, this whole idea of talking about high school graduation, that's been a long time for me. When I finished high school, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, but I did make a really good decision. And of course, everybody's decision is different, but I had decided to go to college, and I think it was a little bit based on a conversation I'd had with the high school guidance counselor who was talking, of course, we all had to have these conversations about what we would like to do with our future. And at the time I was working at a hardware store and actually really enjoyed that work. I worked quite a bit as a high school student. I think I would work generally 20, 25 hours a week. So weekends, after schools, it was an awful lot of time. And I enjoyed that work, as I said, and it was something, I wasn't sure what I'd be doing, if I would stay there, but it was interesting during this meeting with this guidance counselor. So one of the things we were asked was, well, what would you like to do after you graduate? And I said, well, so maybe I'd like to go to college. And it was very interesting, the response that I got, because I was asked then if I was still working at the hardware store, and I said yes. And the guidance counselor kind of made the statement, well, maybe that would be a good future for you, staying at the hardware store. You like what you do, you're good at what you do, and that just might be the kind of thing that you should continue to do. And it made me think, well, why would this idea of my going to college be such, I guess, a discouraged idea? It certainly didn't get any support. And so you kind of read between the lines and realize, I think this person is saying I shouldn't go to college. So I mentioned it again. I said, well, I think actually I don't want to work at the hardware store, and I think I would like to go to college and explore my options. And it was interesting. It was just met with this very dull kind of silence. And I wasn't a great student at that time. I wasn't a bad student. I was a B student. And I don't know if I really thought a lot about what it meant to work hard in school. So that's that, and that was fine. But in that moment, I guess, when suddenly my future felt questioned, my ability to do something felt questioned, it made me very defensive, and made me very, maybe not even defensive, it just made me very passionate about maybe there's something that I need to do that's being obscured from me, and I need to change that, or at least I need to have ownership of that decision. And so I talked a little further, and I sort of maybe made the suggestion that, yeah, that is something I think I really want to do and I'm going to do. And so, of course, I mentioned there was this silence that happened, and I sort of listened to that silence and waited for what was going to emerge from it. And eventually, I think I got this answer that, well, for American Indian peoples, not a lot of success in college is realized, and, working is really important for American Indian peoples, and, you might want to consider a career in art because American and Indian peoples are all really good artists, and you're good working with your hands, so hardware store is a great fit. And I guess two things with that. One, I cannot draw. I have no creative ability. If that is the stereotype, then I have smashed the stereotype, because I can maybe draw a face with a smile and a couple little eye holes, and that's about the extent of what I can do with my artistic talents. And to that end, even working with my hands, building things, I don't think I'm actually very good at it, and I never really was. So it was kind of feeling like this is going to be a really terrible future if I am dependent upon working with my hands or my artistic skills to make my future, because I have very little talent. Many people do have lots of good talent, but I just don't. So I left that meeting feeling a little incensed, a little angry, a little unhappy, I think because of the judgments made about who I was as a person based on who I was as an Indigenous person. That really bothered me, but I think it was also just the fact it was such an imposed limitation. So I realized that's something I have to change, and I changed that. And the next year, I graduated top student in my class. And then when I graduated high school, I actually graduated as my high school, essentially the valedictorian, the one with the highest academic standing. And it was, I think, based a little bit on what was said to me that day, that you can't do this, wasn't even necessarily about trying to be the best, beating everybody else. Although the non-native kids that I went to school with, it wasn't trying anything about trying to be better than anyone else because of who they were. I was just trying to see how good I could be, what was the best I could do as an individual person, and that was what motivated me. Also, I had also had a really wonderful opportunity to go back to the area where I had first grown up, because I went to high school quite a ways away, like many of you do, have to graduate in cities or places that maybe are not where your family is originally from, but for many years of your life become your home. I did return to my home community, and I met with a traditional elder, and because I was curious about the future and I wanted to get his perspective on it. And a few things I learned that I think relate very much to this topic today. Some things that he shared with me and some encouragements that he gave me that I think gave me the louder yes to don't be just angry about what someone has said to you, but remember who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. So in that way, that's how I want to frame a few things about what I'd like to share. So what does it mean to dream and to realize your dreams? And one of the things that this elder had encouraged me to do was he said, well, he asked if you ever gone on a vision quest, fasted, so to speak. And he didn't use the word vision quest. And I said, no, I've never done that actually. It probably is something important to do. And he said, it's very important to do. And he said, I would like you, if you would like to do it, to complete a fast this next spring. So I said I would like to do that. And of course, he gave me some wonderful guidance of what that meant and how to get ready for that time when you go without food and water and you basically deprive your body of some physical strength, imparting elements to let the spiritual part of your nature come forward, to be able to listen to those messages that indeed our ancestors do send forward towards us, towards all of those messages that I think powerfully as indigenous peoples of this part of the world that we are naturally open to. But sometimes in the distractions of the present, we fail to notice, to pay attention to. And so fasting is important because it makes you pause. It makes you listen. It makes you dream. And it makes you pay attention to your dreams in ways that, again, the busyness of everyday life, you just might forget to pay attention to or to remember. So one of the things that I was just encouraged at that point in my life was to think about my life, to pause, to dream, to remember those dreams, and try to do something with those dreams that I had, that I was being shown. So that was a very powerful kind of lesson and experience. The other thing I was encouraged to do was very much what we are encouraged to do, and we just think about that term ancestor and remember who those ones are, is that they are very special and they are very important. And we are here because of their efforts and their sacrifices, and in many ways their sufferings. American Indian peoples, indigenous peoples in this part of the world have not had an easy history, and that is the biggest understatement of the day, that we have been victims of slavery, we have been victims of land disempowerment, land theft. We have had our languages and our cultures by and large ripped away and stolen from us. We have been relegated to the poorest parts of society, denied opportunities, or at least those have not been made explicit to us, and we have been left in continuing circumstances socially that are completely unacceptable. But what we do have is a lot of inherent strength, a lot of inherent resilience, and a lot of good spirit connection that can be a very good source of strength. And we have each other, and that is the maybe best source of strength. So in that way, when we think about our ancestors, that the dreams that they had for the future, those dreams must have been you. You doing exactly what you are doing right now, being able to go to a school and hopefully feeling that going to school is okay, because it wasn't the kind of residential school that many of our grandparents, parents, or great-grandparents attended, whereby your whole sense of self was completely negated to the point you forgot who you were, how to speak your language, how to be proud of your cultural ways. Although, education that doesn't acknowledge those things can in some way do it. But at the same time, there is a difference, and what you are doing in graduating and moving on to a part and a phase of your life that so many of our ancestors never had the opportunity to do, that would have been one of their dreams. So that ability to go forth and learn freely. So it's a pretty amazing and extraordinary thing. It feels weird to say it's a privilege, but in some ways, I guess, from the vantage point of their dreams and perspectives, it very much would be that. So that notion, that opportunity you have at the present to keep doing things, to keep learning things, it's something that we want to take action on. And what's really exciting about the present time is there's lots of opportunities to keep learning, whether you do it as a part of your job or whether you continue to go to college. And I do hope you consider that and do that. But today you can study so many things that you could never study, and certainly your ancestors could not study. Of course, if they naturally knew their language and culture, that's always the best way to do it. But if you don't, and if it's something that you don't feel you know enough about, this is the opportunity to go forth and take up that opportunity to study your language, study parts of your history, parts of your culture that maybe was something that you feel you don't know well enough but would like to know more of. Maybe there's things that you'd like to learn about in terms of ceremonies or ways that as Indigenous peoples we naturally come to knowledge. This is the opportunity and the time to start to make those plans, start to meet those people, and start to pursue that active learning journey. Basically, what the dreams of your ancestors would be that you would be able to be yourself fully and to be able to learn the things that you need to learn to be able to fulfill that kind of life path that was in our own cultures talked about by the old people always as before we were even born to the world. Each of us had, of course, a name, and hopefully that spirit name is something you have that opportunity to hear, to know. And if you don't know it, find someone who can help you learn your Indian name, your Indigenous name, your spirit name. But also, in our oldest teachings, it was said that before we were even born to this world, we were already told that we had a purpose to fulfill in this world, that there was specific work that each of us would be asked to do for the greater good, to help the people, to help the community. And the hard part about being born to this world is our spirit, of course, has come forward, but it's a lot of remembering we suddenly have to do. And there's lots of things that blur what that message was. So it's kind of our task to learn what that is. Now, as I mentioned earlier, fasting's one of those ways that you can do it. But I think paying attention to your dreams, reflecting upon the lessons that we get every day, and taking those moments to listen to ourselves, listen to our hearts, listen to our spirits, I think those are ways that we can connect with that and find what that vision is and fulfill that. And I think in so many ways, that would be an absolute dream of your ancestors, that you would be able to hear what that life path journey for yourself is supposed to be. But also in that is to recognize that you are also part of a greater story. And of course, for all of our peoples coming from this part of the world, we acknowledge that each of our nations has their own creation story, and that each of those creation stories are true. And in that regard, you might wonder, have I heard my own people's creation story? And if you haven't, that's okay. But it's a good time now to go learn what that is, find out what that is, and find out what that means. because in so many of our creation stories, and they're all beautiful stories, and it's best if you can hear it in, your own language first. But hearing it in English will still tell you a lot of basic ideas. But the thing to note about that is the stories of our creation, they talk about how the people were formed and given physical form, given physical shape. And in so many ways, when you hear them, it's like those teachings are talking directly to you. That when you hear about, the first person of your nation being given form, it's like you hear yourself being given form. When you hear in that teaching that this being that was formed and shaped was the most beautiful being that creation could imagine, you can see yourself as that one. So they're empowering stories, and they make you feel good about yourself because they should, and because you should. So our stories are powerful, and we know that it would be a dream of our ancestors for you to be able to hear those kinds of stories, even if they couldn't be the ones to tell you those stories. So that would be something very good to continue to pursue. To live your life as who you are meant to be, not who people tell you you're supposed to be. Not to be limited by what other people feel your limitations are, but to live your life by the strengths that you know you have and the person that you are supposed to be. We know also that it would be a dream of our ancestors for our people to live in a good cooperative way, in a way where we help each other, where we're kind to each other, where we help each other all move forward, as opposed to one person just doing that at the expense of others. That's not who we are. So to live to be ourselves, that would, I am certain, be one of those dreams. And then lastly, I guess one of the things I just wanted to share as an encouragement, but also just maybe as some kind of reminder here, that in so many of our nations, there are these incredible prophecy stories. These stories that are meant to give us a vision of the future, but to also know that there's, again, a greater purpose to what it is that we need to accomplish in the present. And one of those stories for the many of the Anishinaabe peoples of this part of the world, and that could be the Potawatomi, the Menominee, the Ojibwe, Odawa. Many other tribes are still under that same umbrella, and I think share this kind of story, but the Eighth Fire's prophecy. And it's a pretty fantastic story that takes us all the way back to, the Eastern Shore 1,000 years ago, when this prophecy first came. And think about that, 1,000 years ago. It was a much different kind of continent here. But it was also, in its own way, a great time of planning for the future that would come, and somehow the people knew this, because this prophecy, it talked about all of the hardships, or many of the hardships, that as a people we would face. The near destruction of our lifeways, of the theft of our land, the loss of our family structures, the introduction of things into our societies that were not originally ours. But it also is fundamentally a story about hope, in that they say in the time of the seventh fire, which roughly emerged sometime maybe mid-70s. It's been lit a little while now, but these fires also burned for a long time. But that the children of that particular time, of this particular time, would be the children of the seventh fire. And they would be born in a special time when it was said the people would stand up, when the people would remember who they are, when the people would reclaim all those things that had been left along the trail in earlier epochs and earlier fires, left along the trail, discarded or ripped away and left hidden. But that this generation would find all of those things renew all of those things, own all of those things, and move those into the future. So that's an important part of this, that we reclaim who we are as Indigenous peoples. And your opportunity at graduation is now entirely in front of you to do that. So it's in itself a good point of purpose and a good life mission right there. But also part of that prophecy says that these new people, I think the word was Oshke Bimadazig, which is literally means sort of the new lifed ones, the new people, that the new people, Oshke Bimadaziyang, that there would be this sharing of our ways also, and synthesis of our ways with those of others. So it says everything to us that we don't live just in the past, but we live dynamically in the present into the future. We're informed by the things that we know as Indigenous peoples, the instincts that we have, the messages that we're given. That's a big part of it. But that we are also part of making that very dynamic new future that is the time of the eighth fire. And when that is lit, it's kind of said there'll be these two possibilities, I guess, like any good prophecy story. The one path is a gentle path where the earth is not scorched, where people have walked softly on the ground and they've walked together. And that's not just indigenous peoples, that's all peoples, moved forward together in a good way. The other path is one that is one of destruction, of exploitation, of despair and loss, and greed. And it was said that this generation, children of the seventh fire, would decide which of those two paths we would go. One that would move to a future that's sustainable and respectful, the other destructive, and destructive in a real way, meaning kind of destruction of the earth. And we've seen the potential for both. So for yourself right now, it's an exciting time to be here because you get to be a part of the generation or the ensuing generations who will help make that future what it is. So it's exciting and it's good and it's hopeful. And that's how we want to think about it. But that it's made with hard work, it's made with love, and it's made with respect and concern and kindness for each other. So those are just, I think, if I had to summate what would be a way that we would realize and honor the dreams of our ancestors, it would be that we will take action upon those old stories, those old prophecies, upon all of the things that they held or that they didn't, if they didn't have, that they wanted you to have. So in that good way, just wanted to encourage people to go forward with strength and with determination and to take advantage of all the life that there is and all of the time that there is to achieve something that will make you proud, will make your families proud, and make your ancestors proud, because we know they are watching us, supporting us, encouraging us. So in that good way, I would just extend this gentle message of Mushkoenda Mug, be determined in your thoughts, Ayong Guamazig, be careful in your actions, and just remember how beautiful life is. So work for that life, Anukida, and always remember to honor yourselves as you do that. So in a good way, wanted to extend those words and thank you for letting me share this message. Miigwech, Miseo.
Thank you, Professor McInnes. We will now move forward with honoring our graduates in our virtual processional. Honoring our 5th grade graduates. Matthew Apigo Davidson, 3 affiliated tribes: Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara, Navajo. Nadia M. Sid, Ho-Chunk Nation. Nicoletta Fullwilder, Salt River Pima, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Oneida, Stockbridge, Muncie. Malachi Martell, Chippewa. Alondra Reyes Seabury, Fond du Lac Tribe. Honoring our 12th grade graduates. Lewis Allen, Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Ojibwe Memorial High School. Elias Fox Baker, Colville Confederated Tribes, East High School. Gloria Cornelius, Oneida Nation, Capital High School. Sadie Renee Decora, Ho-Chunk Nation, East High School. Mayingan Wolf Garvin, Ho-Chunk Nation, East High School. Caden Kirkpatrick, Choctaw, West High School. Corbin Left Hand, Crow Tribe, West High School. Benjamin Schneider, Cherokee, Oklahoma, East High School. Jennifer Tyndall, Ho-Chunk and Athabascan, Verona Area High School. Honoring our post-secondary graduates. Honoring our post-secondary graduates. Lillian N. White Eagle, Ho-Chunk, Red Lake, and Leech Lake, Bachelor of Science, Psychology, and Sociology, Upper Iowa University. Jacob Bender, Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Ojibwe, School of Nursing, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Haley Machette, Navajo, Picaris, Bachelor of Science, Retailing and Consumer Behavior, Certificate, Business, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Rebecca Schieber, Ojibwe, Bachelor of Science, Economics, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Lorenda Jean Malson, Lac du Flambeau, Ojibwe, Juris Doctor of Law, University of Wisconsin Law School. Dr. Rachel Byington, Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, Doctorate in Human Ecology, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Let's hear some words from a couple of our graduates.
Hi, I'm Elias Fox Baker, and I'm a graduating senior at Madison East High School. I'm also a member of the Caldwell Confederate Tribes. First thing I want to do is shout out some of my family, important people on my journey throughout my high school career. The first people that I want to shout out are my two moms, Cheryl Baker, or Indian Goyle, and Lana Fox. Those are my two moms, and they've supported me and just been there and helped me shape who I am today. Another group of people that I want to shout out is my grandmothers, Stella Baker and Peggy Fox Bowman. And they've been the elders in my life and have taught me many things, just to improve myself, to be a better man. And another person that I want to shout out is my little sister Marina. Although she could be annoying, we've had plenty of fun adventures that I cherish to this day. And then another group of people, last group of people, are my friends and other people that I haven't been able to list. They're basically my community, and they've helped me grow into the person I am today. My kind of last advice for maybe the younger students is to kind of get outside your comfort zone. You lose a lot of opportunities if you're really comfortable, and I've learned that kind of, throughout my years. And just, work hard, but don't be afraid to fail a little bit. Don't be afraid to have a little self-care, because, at the end of the day, you're you, and you just want to be 100%, and don't worry about school too much, but work hard, And so my last thing I want to say is kind of my hopes and dreams. I'm going to be I'm going to be attending UW-Madison in the fall, hopefully pursuing a computer science degree. So, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do after college, but I know that I will just want to maybe improve my native communities. So, thank you.
Hey guys, Ben here. I like to give a shout out to my family members, my mom, my dad, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, for doing everything they can to take care of me and raise me, and be there for me when I need it the most. I also like to give a shout out to my friends as well, too, for helping me throughout schooling and being there for me as well, too. I appreciate everything that they do to help me be successful in school and throughout so far in life. Hopefully I'm ready for the next chapter, and be more successful in college and be a good role model.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending the virtual all-city graduation. My name is Davita Walker. I am a member of the Bad River Band of Chippewa of Lake Superior, Wisconsin. I am a first-generational college student, and I'm finally graduating from Madison College from the Human Service Associate Degree Program Addiction Studies Certification. Being a person in long-term recovery and a non-traditional college student, this is such a big honor for me that this day has arrived. I would like to thank Marty, Katie, Nicole, all the members of the Native American Student Association, my instructors, and my loving family for supporting me and standing by my side. I couldn't have done any of this without you guys. So I just want to say thank you and congratulations to all the graduates. Be safe, have fun, enjoy your life. Bye.
Good evening. I would like to welcome you to the 14th Annual All-City American Indian and Alaska Native Graduation, realizing the dreams of our ancestors. My name is Katie Ackley. I work at Madison